Hi, this is Roman Bodnarchuk from N5R.com. I really appreciate your time today. I know your most valuable resource is your time. There's nothing more valuable, so I promise to be brief today. I want to share with you what I think is your biggest marketing opportunity and maybe your biggest business challenge. I believe it's your sales team and reinventing the way that you do sales today. And I'll tell you why I feel that way. Exactly 15 years ago, we started our company. And 15 years ago, we didn't have assets like Google. We didn't have smartphones. We didn't all have a video camera. We didn't have iPads. We didn't have USB keys. We didn't have high-speed internet. I mean, the world has changed massively over the last 15 years. The challenge is, as I spend 200 days a year working in condo sales offices in Australia, in India, in Malaysia, in China, all through North America, in the Caribbean, in South America, here's what I found. The sales teams and culture and the marketing team hasn't evolved in 15 or 20 years. It's really quite sad. So the consumers have leapfrogged us. The consumers are really, really on top. For example, the average person now has a smartphone. They look at it 150 times a day. Over 98% of all the real estate information they consume will be on a device this size. So if your sales culture and your marketing team hasn't evolved to understanding this new digital lifestyle and how to market and to sell in this environment, they're going to be left behind. And you already know that. You know that your print ads aren't working anymore. You know your radio ads aren't working. You know your billboards aren't working. You know anything you do in traditional is getting zero results. And if you don't know that, that just means you're not measuring it. You don't have unique websites, you don't have unique URLs, unique phone numbers to measure that. Those of you that are doing that, you know the only thing working today is online. So what I'm here to tell you is, if you figured out that online marketing is a great way and you get 10 times more leads for the same price, good for you. But have you changed the sales culture? And I challenge you, because I don't think you have. In my experience, 200 days here in sales offices, I found that people are using the same sales methodology that I learned 20 years ago from Brian Tracy or Tom Hopkins, which are awesome. And some of the fundamentals don't change. We know sales is a numbers game. But here's the difference. Today, if you don't respond to an internet lead, which is almost all of our leads, within 5 minutes, you have almost no hope of ever getting a sales meeting with that prospect. And when I say sales meeting, we sell a lot of real estate over the internet. We sell a lot of real estate over video Skype. We sell a lot of real estate today over video webinars, Google Hangouts. So a sales meeting doesn't necessarily have to be a physical meeting, although most of them still are. But my point is, if you don't call your leads back within 5 minutes, the odds of getting a meeting with that person are very, very small. I'll give you one example. Recent MIT research has told us that when you call leads back 4 hours later versus 5 minutes, there's a 100 times likelihood that you will book the meeting within the 5-minute call time than within 4 hours. So if you wait 4 hours, you're now at a 1 percentile chance of booking that meeting. What kind of odds do you want in your marketing success? You know what your cost per lead is, or I hope you know what your cost per lead is. It's huge. Your marketing costs are huge. So again, by reinventing your sales culture, understand about real-time response rate. That's one example. Let me give you another. You have 3 seconds to make an impression with someone on the phone. 3 seconds. If you haven't done your research on that prospect, if you haven't gone to their Facebook and their Twitter and their LinkedIn, if you haven't Googled them and you don't really understand who your customer is, you're making a huge mistake. Again, the odds of converting that lead are next to none. So when you look at traditional sales offices, here's how you know you've got a challenge. When salespeople are just sitting around waiting for someone to walk in the sales office, you know that's an issue. Today, the most successful, and we work on the largest real estate projects in the world, some of the most successful real estate projects in the world. We've broken every world record in terms of condo sales, 367 condos, $1 million a minute. We've broken all the records. What I can tell you is the sales teams that are actually making money and doing sales consistently day in, day out are proactive. They're watching the leads on their website. They're responding in real time. It's a completely different culture. I know some of you are still using Excel spreadsheets as your sales tool. Let me tell you, Excel is a great tool, but it's not a CRM tool. It's not a tool for sales teams. It doesn't replace sales software. So I'm here to challenge you to think about what you're doing. If you've been successful in the past, fantastic. But the things that brought us here today, the tools that brought us here today, versus what's working moving forward are very, very different. So when I think back to our company 15 years ago with no high-speed internet, no USB, and no Google, and no iPhones, and no iPads, and all that stuff that we have today, that we rely on today, the world has changed radically. I question you and ask you, has your sales and marketing team evolved? And if it hasn't, I recommend you visit a brand new website we've just put together called Condo Mastery. It's condomastery.com. The reason we put it together was N5R as an agency only works with the biggest, most exclusive clients in the world. We work with, again, the biggest projects, the biggest master plan projects, billion-dollar projects. We work for the Trump family, we work for George Perez. We work with the biggest, smartest developers in the world. Not everyone can afford N5R, and I understand that. So what we put together with Condo Mastery were some tools that anybody can take advantage of. Anybody in the sales and marketing arena that wants to get to the next level can use some of the principles, some of the technologies, some of the real sales tools that we've developed. And I encourage you to visit condomastery.com, download our latest ebook, and I look forward to meeting you, if not in person, maybe on our next webinar. Thank you so much.